So one of the things about working in functional medicine is that I see a lot of crazy trends. Some of them are actually good and beneficial, and then some of them are just absurd and like make you a little bit more crazy. So I want to talk to you about some of the wellness trends that you need to go ahead and just ditch. So let's dive in. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I'm a naturopathic doctor, an acupuncturist, and a health coach. And online, I help clients overcome the effects and the symptoms of chronic stress. So things like problems with sleeping, weight gain, anxiety, frustration, irritability, hormone fluctuations, all that good stuff. So of course, in working with this, people are stressed out and they're often looking for either a shortcut or something to help them overcome this. And I just wanted to share with you some of the things that I see that you don't need to do. So first one, and these are in no particular order. So first one are these crazy fad diets. Please just stop it. So in my time during practice, I have seen the range of things from intermittent fasting, restricted eating, FODMAPs, anti-inflammatory diet, the paleo diet, the Whole30, the anti-inflammatory diet, the Mediterranean diet, like the list goes on. And what I see generally with this type of hyper focus is that it makes clients or patients absolutely insane and they become obsessed. And then they eventually fall off the wagon and just go back to eating whatever they were eating before because it becomes unsustainable. Before we throw the baby out with the bathwater, each one of these diets, yes, may have a particular benefit. So for example, keto was originally designed for people who have epilepsy. Not sure how it became so mainstream other than is more just of higher fat, higher protein type diet. On its own, that's totally fine, but not everybody needs to go to the extreme of keto. More important is to actually learn what your body needs. Learning a basic breakdown of macronutrients, so your balance of fat, carbs, and protein. That's it. Honestly, the number of times that I see people driving themselves nuts when they're not even getting like a basic macro breakdown or not to mention a micronutrient breakdown is insane. It's more important that you're fueling your body with the macro and micronutrients that it needs to survive. When we don't have this, we have trouble sleeping. We see increases in anxiety and frustration and stress. So again, I say it's more important to learn what your body actually needs and then tweak it from there. So if you need more protein, let's add more protein. But let's actually figure out, one, what does your body require? Two, are you usually getting it on a daily basis? And three, from there, how do we make common sense easy steps that you're actually going to be able to live with for a lifetime? Yes, it's pretty simple, and it also has to align with what your goals are. So even if your goals are weight loss, we still have to use the basic principle of calories in and calories out. Yes, there are metabolic and hormonal things that can affect that, but we still have to start with the basics. In keeping with the diet fads, can we also stop like the fake meat substitutes? Not opposed. If every now and again you want to go have an Impossible Whopper, that's fine. But I think my point is, don't have it because that you think it's better than or healthier than eating meat. Because a lot of times when you read these ingredients, they're not great. They are not helpful. They are often made with a lot of things like safflower oil, which you don't really need. Now, again, if maybe you have a food allergy to something and you just really like the flavor or the taste, then by all means, again, but in moderation. But stop with the substitution of fake different types of foods just because you think they're a healthier alternative than meat. Again, this goes back to knowing how much protein and how much fat you actually should be consuming. And if you're able to do that, then you're better able to fuel your body without substituting something that's less healthy, but has been marketed to you in a way that is healthier. Another thing I see quite often, which is often just either silly and a waste of money or actually detrimental, is this whole detox tea, detox pills, detox kit sort of thing. Now, there are legitimate reasons for detox. And when I say detox, I mean actually supporting routes of elimination. So supporting things like sweating through things like sauna or exercise, because our skin is our largest organ of detoxification. It releases all the toxins when we sweat. Supporting the liver and its ability to do phase 1 and phase 2 conjugation. This can be done in eating in a way which is giving the liver all the cofactors and enzymes that it needs to actually process all the toxins and deal with the everyday metabolic cleanup that it has to do. supporting using the lungs as a route of elimination by using the breath and doing different types of breath work. These are the fundamental types of things that I think about when I hear the word detox. So most of these detox supplements are either kind of diuretics or cathartics, which means laxative. And to be completely honest, your body doesn't really need this type of stuff. If you are, again, supporting those routes of elimination kind of through everyday means, you're generally going to be fine. Now, if you have some sort of heavy metal toxicity or some sort of overload from environmental toxins, that's a different story. But even then, that juice cleanse or that detox tea or that laxative is not really going to help you. There are other ways that you would need to support your body in dealing with those types of toxins and chemicals. And that generally is a conversation you need to have with your functional medicine provider. Because one, there are tests you need to do to actually confirm these. And then there are higher level interventions in which they may be able to help you out. Another trend that I see quite often, and I hate it so much, are just treating everything with bags and bags of supplements. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Supplements and nutraceuticals definitely have their place. They can be very helpful in treating deficiencies or, if you have a pathway that doesn't work as well and we need to kind of supplement, that is a great way to do that. However, it is not a substitute for eating a healthy, well-balanced diet. It is not a substitute for moderation for things like, say, drinking too much alcohol and then thinking you can just take a bunch of B vitamins or whatever to help the liver. No, we want to use these things only when we have to, because we want your body to be able to function on its own as best it can. You're not necessarily feeling tired because you have a supplement deficiency. No, you're feeling tired maybe because you're maybe not getting enough B vitamins, or maybe because your sleep cycle is out of whack and your body is not able to go through the different stages of repair as it should. We're generally not having some sort of supplement deficiency. And this is the problem I see quite often in the kind of health and wellness space, is that we just want to throw a supplement at it. And even worse, now we can just, because it's not a medication, people think that they're totally safe. And a lot of times you might either be taking the wrong thing for you, you might be taking the wrong form of it, or you might just not need it. At best, you pee it out. At worst, if you're taking something that's more fat soluble, that has a high dose of things like maybe vitamin A or D, you could be overloading and actually doing damage. So please use these things sparingly. And again, work with a provider. Actually do some testing, do some functional testing, do a blood draw to actually know that your body needs these types of things. And the final trend I want to talk about today is jumping from trend to trend. You actually need to have a real plan. You need to have some accountability, and you need to have some extra guidance. I see a lot of people, particularly with different types of exercise, people will jump from things like CrossFit to only doing cardio to only doing weight training to and then back again. So it's really more about with whatever the trend is, be it with nutrition or be it with working out, you actually need to have a plan. You need to have a thorough set of goals and a realistic set of goals and a realistic plan to get there. And really what that comes down to is having some accountability, having some guidance, and ultimately having consistency. So a great way to do this is to work with someone like me as a coach to help step you through. This is exactly what I do inside of my program, The Better Health Blueprint, but I give you the tools to actually create a plan that works for you and will work for a lifetime, because you are educated to have the tools to tweak and change that plan because you know what your body actually needs and you know what you should be doing. And then you're going to have me as your coach to walk you through with weekly calls. So if you want to learn more about how the Better Health Blueprint works and what that's all about, go ahead and click the link below and you can learn more about that. I also have a link to a free webinar if you want to check that out. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope you start avoiding some of these trends and you don't get caught up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. It really does help other people find the channel and find this content. And go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can know when I post a new video next week. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.